All right, we are back. White Wolf Blitzkrieg Game 2. So, Jeff, I don't know about you, but for me, what I'm looking forward for Blitzkrieg here, little more confidence, little more aggression. Try to take advantage of the advantages when you have it as opposed to being scared the whole time, and a real tank.
Yeah, I think I don't want to pick on it too much, pick on one thing, but I think the Wukong pick just did not work at all. Seemed like it added very little. There wasn't really much proactive play going on in the early game, which is understandable given just Wukong's kit. But even once that Cyclone was available, didn't really see that much work being done with it. And as you said, J-Dog built full damage, and so he was just getting melted in fights whenever he tried to go in.
I didn't mind the Wukong that much. I think the ultimate helped quite a lot, but at the same time, it didn't really have the survivability to get too much else done.
Mm-hmm.
White Wolf going for assassin bans again. I'm wondering if Blitzkrieg's going to change up their banning strategy at all. I mean, unless they're going to take out the Renekton, I don't think they need to really deviate too much. They didn't get so completely blown out by one individual, I would say, that they need to worry about who they're banning.
Yeah, I would agree with that. For Blitzkrieg, I'd like to see maybe some more priority on something like a Scion. Well, actually, no, they just banned that away. But as you said, having a real tank would have been helpful. Even washed up top laner was melting in fights by the end of that game. Game 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I said Blitzkrieg needs to ban Renekton. My fault, White Wolf. But White Wolf clearly does not care. So, interesting they ban out the Nocturne there. Probably don't want J-Dog to have it either. But we'll see what happens. Obviously Renekton is still available. Perhaps Blitzkrieg wants to mix it up though. I wouldn't say the Renekton did poorly though. I'd be perfectly fine locking that in. Oh, they go with the Malphite instead.
Yeah, Malphite's certainly a champion that is capable of having, a big moment, more so than Renekton, who's just a more steady champion. But yeah, I would agree that I don't think Renekton was a problem last game, but also wasn't really bringing that much to the table either.
Well, we'll see what the response is here. Ornn.
Ornn, okay.
Alright, another champion with some big play potential.
Yeah, just a couple of big rock guys with AoE knockups.
Just a couple of big dudes up in the top lane. And a real tank as well, so that's
yeah,
nice.
I was going to say, you should be feeling good. First 2 picks, both real tanks.
Well, we'll see.
Place got me with the Amumu.
Alright. So lots
Another
of tanks. All the tanks.
3 picks, 3 tanks.
I would like to see Exia go Fizz here. Because Fizz does relatively well against tanks.
That percentage damage. And the Kayn left up, so that's a champion J-Dog enjoys.
Oh, just keep the train going, J-Dog. Go Cho'Gath jungle. Come on. All tanks. Mid lane. Galio versus Science taken already.
Struggling as well.
Zac. Scion Zac mid lane. Not Scion Zac, Galio Zac mid lane.
Nope. Ixia's going back to that Ahri. Left available to him this time. It was picked away by Tentacle.
Alright, Wolf. Galio. You know you want to. Then your ADC, you can go back to that month where everyone was scared of playing ADC and do like Swain as your ADC. Nope, okay, no one's having fun anymore. That's fine. Alright, so Lux, very powerful mid laner. See how Tentacle does with them. Was very good with the Ahri.
Yeah, certainly impressed me on the Ahri.
Yeah, missed quite a lot of the charms though.
That is true. Yeah, wasn't exactly a sniper with those, but still seemed to just know, even if you miss the charm, you can still go in, get some productive things done.
Yeah, I mean, The tentacle was not Ashway. Can't just land every single skill shot that she's ever wanted to.
And once again, Zaya banned away from Arcane Soda. So a lot of respect there to that player with that champion.
I wonder if they'll take Alistar out also. They do have one ban left.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see. Yeah, I think that Luffy Senpai really enjoys Alistar, so they might be hoping to grab that for themselves. They ban away the Tristana as well, so sort of trying to test Arcane Soda's champion pool, perhaps.
Yeah, Tristana's a good ban as well. No problems with that.
And they will take away the Alistar first, so I like that pick from White Wolf. Luffy Senpai is very capable on that champion. They're probably hoping to get it for themselves by not banning it.
I'd like to see maybe someone other than Leona. Leona didn't do terrible. Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, are they messing with you?
Yeah, someone, their first mistake was letting Gotta Get Lucky pick his own champion. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Back to the Bears.
there's no way Blitzkrieg is gonna let him do that. Ooh, Pike.
Pike comes out, okay.
I do not like Pike here. I'm gonna get in a box for 2 seconds here. You're against 3 tanks. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty difficult to find picks, but I mean, if he's able to, Caitlyn and Lux will drop pretty quickly, and the team fight will fall apart for White Wolf after that.
Oh my god.
So once again, we're seeing a pretty similar strategy from Blitzkrieg here, where they've got, once again, a lot of assassins, a lot of, initiation sort of sneaky potential.
Yeah, and once again, I do not like Blitzkrieg's lineup at all. I mean, even more than I dislike the last one.
No, I think, it's very clear that they have this style of play that they are committed to, and if it doesn't work, they're just going to keep trying it. So we'll see if they can find a better performance here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean that's the hope. But I mean, since we have 3 minutes, let's talk about this a little. And I'm sure the chat is saying mean things about my thoughts, but I don't care. Um, so we've got three tanks. We have a very strong front line. This is like the strongest front line you can have without, like I was saying, Galio in the mid lane. Um, and what is Blitzkrieg's team? Blitzkrieg's team wants to get into the back line. Fine. So you've got Kane, you've got Ari, you've got Pike, all who can do sneaky things to get into the back line. But this Alistar can stop all of that.
Mm-hmm.
A Mumu can literally tie you to the ground and stop you from doing that. I do not see this strategy working for Blitzkrieg. I mean, if by some miracle Pike manages to stab Caitlyn in the ribs 4 times, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that they need to get really creative with Kane's sneak attacks in order to get anything done here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, Kane's going to have to come from one way. Maybe you have Exia coming from a different angle. Just try to, make White Wolf panic a little bit.
Right.
Because there are a lot of different people who can come from a lot of different angles on the side of Blitzkrieg to get in there. But it's certainly just a much more difficult team composition to execute well that Blitzkrieg has picked compared to White Wolf, which is much more standard.
Right, and look at all the other. I mean, I was just talking about a Mumu. Look at all the other ways they have to stop sneaky attacks. Caitlyn's traps, Lux's snares.
Mm-hmm.
This, I mean, if Blitzkrieg, if you have this team against like the team that Blitzkrieg made in the last game, I'd bet on Blitzkrieg's current team because they have a lot of that bursty surprise damage. But against a very tanky, very standard team like White Wolf has here, they have no chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they have no chance, but I think that it's definitely a win condition that they need to get ahead early. I think that if this game is even or in a slight advantage to White Wolf at, say, 15, 20 minutes, I think that it's just going to be too difficult for Blitzkrieg to find angles in onto White Wolf, especially given what we saw from White Wolf in game 1, which was very clean, very good positioning. And it doesn't make me think that they're going to expose their squishies to these assassins.
Well, We'll see if they can or not. We're going into the skin showdown again, the Nero skin showdown. And for the record, Blitzkrieg did win Game 1's skin showdown. They lost. So
Yep.
we'll see if the trend continues in Game 2. A lot of potential for some good skins on both sides here. Not
Anything other than Mukau Alistar though.
Well, I got some bad news for you. Frankly, I think Amaya-chan's Mukau Alistar needs to step up its game a little bit. I only saw the taunt once.
Yeah, right.
You got
Little
like
cowbell.
every second you're standing still, you need to be ringing that bell, man. Otherwise, what's even the point of having the skin? It's like playing Devil May Cry. You gotta taunt every time you have one opening.
So this is a big game for both teams right here because, Blitzkrieg, they were in first as recently as last week, got passed up by Option 12, Option 12 on bye this week. So they had a chance to take the throne back. Now they do not. But if they go down 0-2 here, White Wolf actually passes them. Phoenix could pass them later. 9 Lives could pass them later. Could be a bad couple of weeks for Blitzkrieg if they, that would be 2 0-2 weeks in a row.
Elementalist Lux versus Arctic Opvarus. Who do I like more? Well, I think I'm going to pad my own stats here and say Blitzkrieg again, because that way when Blitzkrieg loses, it'll be 2 skin showdowns lost in a row.
Honestly, I'm pretty disappointed by almost all of these.
I would agree, yeah.
Dynasty Ari, not one of my favorites. Unchained Alistar, not one of my favorites. Arctic Ops Varus, not. And then 2 no skins, 1 on each team. Almost Prom King Amumu has always had a soft spot for me for whatever reason, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Blitzkrieg as well, slightly.
I do like the Soul Hunter Kane.
Hmm.
I haven't actually seen it, but I like the splash art there.
And Elementalist Lux is very cool on the side of White Wolf for Tentacle, but I don't know. Overall, just very lackluster. Sorry, Nero. We should do better.
And speaking of Nero, the second game, once again, brought to you by Foster Adventure. Everyone's posting messages you shouldn't see because we're supposed to have the chat off. Thanks, Rat.
So it looks like White Wolf willing to be aggressive here. They do have some level 1 CC. They can get a snare into a pulverize, into a bandage toss. Could be a scary situation for someone like Lofi Senpai sitting right over that wall.
And there was no quick ward either, so they don't see this coming. Before the action starts, though, I will point out that Amaya did not go Mukau Alistar. So,
yeah, pretty disappointed.
Write them a note. Alright, we'll see if Lofi falls for this. I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, Tentacle and Spicy Hot Meme have not skilled yet. And Lofi Senpai, they are going to see him.
Oh,
he
flashes.
He doesn't get over to the wall, but they don't land the snare. And Spicy Hot Meme not willing to skill up that bandage toss. I think if he had, that would have been a guaranteed first blood, but maybe concerned about his early jungling, didn't want to really neuter himself in terms of taking down camps by going with the bandage toss.
Yeah, getting the flash is good enough, I would say.
Sure. Yeah, still an absolute win for absolutely free on the side of White Wolf. So already with a little bit of a leg up. Kane is starting on White Wolf's Raptors, actually, and Baconlicious just walked right past him and did not see. So J-Dog, a sneaky little move there.
I like this, actually. This is the kind of play that a team lineup like Blitzkrieg needs to get the edge.
Yeah, going right to the red buff now, so he will be behind Baconlicious if he wants to try to maybe get an early cheeky gank off.
So assuming we're not going to get too much action right away here, I need to ask why you don't like Arctic Opvarus.
I mean, it just isn't that cool in my opinion. I don't know. It's just like a blue.
Not a fan of like
of Varus.
Metal Gear Solid or anything like that, because that's the vibe I get from these sorts of things.
Honestly, no. I mean, I didn't own PlayStation as a kid, so
fair enough. All right, so we have Meme going for the crab here. Hopefully J-Dog's gonna get some justice here. killing the things that killed him last game. But basically gets away with that invade relatively clean. Spicy Hot Meme, I think... I don't know if he's predicting this.
Yeah, it looks like he knew, or is just extremely bold. Could be either one.
We'll see if he goes for the red buff here. I'm sure he will. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
So
good move from Spicy Hot Meme there to even that out after having his entire topside jungle taken away.
trade in the buffs there. Then he doesn't even need to check. Just feels it. But that's fine.
A lot of very good vertical play from both teams here in this series. Vertical jungling now, we saw in game 1 a lot of the time for the first 15 minutes. It was one team making a play bot, the other would immediately respond top. Intelligent stuff from both sides.
Yeah. Interested to see who's going to blink first this game. Top laner and Baconlicious are both beating each other relatively wet noodly, but still exchanging blows constantly.
Wolfie Senpai was looking for a little bit of a play there, but got headbutted back very easily, so looks like we'll return to just farming.
Spicy Hot Meme is waiting. He's waiting.
Spicy Hot Meme is close, but he's very low.
And they also know he's there.
Charm lands onto Tentacle in the mid lane, so Exia getting a little bit of a better trade up there.
It's interesting how similar Malphite and Ornn are. They both have that little shield. Granted, top laners, the Malphite's shield is free, but...
Oh, they get in onto Exia, but the snare misses from Tentacle. Charm missed right back, though. Now can J-Dog clean this up? There's been a lot of poorly aimed skill shots in that skirmish, and everyone walks away for it.
Tentacle rocking the barrier, doing some doing his best Hohenheim impression.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, all right, so the note for Tentacle then is not the best at skill shots, which is fine.
Well, we'll see if he proves us wrong maybe as this game goes on, but yeah, that's that was unfortunate, missing that snare onto a rooted target.
Washed up top laner choosing to walk back to lane after going back.
Gotta get lucky. Doing a decent job staying close in this CS matchup. Always tough against a Caitlyn in lane, but missed a couple there. Maybe just a little lapse in focus.
Want to talk about Leona's being in danger, pulling things. How do you think Lofi Senpai feels now?
Yeah, it's, you gotta be careful what you wish for when you pull in an Alistar. Spicy Hot Meme coming down towards the bottom lane, and doesn't look like there's any vision there, so...
Pops
yeah,
a
he's
speed
coming
boost.
right in, pops the Predator. Minion Wave arrives just in time to block the Bandit Toss for a while, but now they get in, gotta get lucky. He's being a little greedy with the flash, but I think he should get out just barely. And Arcane Soda almost goes down under the turret, so gotta get lucky. He has to burn both summoners, but does escape. And now Kayn is here, J-Dog in the bottom lane. They get the pull onto Spicy Hot Meme, and this Amumu is in a lot of trouble. Gets ignited. Here comes Teleport down from Baconlicious to try to turn this around. They get the stun down onto J-Dog. Bandage toss back in. That is so brave from Spicy Hot Meme, and they just barely get him out and get the first blood.
Ah, man. Okay, Lofi Senpai, don't pull Alistars into your ADC, please.
A really nice play by White Wolf there. Very coordinated all the way across the map, and a huge difference maker was the fact that Baconlicious still had his teleport available, while Washed Up Top Laner could not join that fight.
Well, Washed Up Top Laner tried to teleport in, but teleported in too late, and so canceled it.
Ah, canceled it. Okay.
Yeah, which was a good thought. Now, if he had been able to get into that fight, that would have been a Malphite ult right on the entire White Wolf team, which could have made all the difference, but teleport a little too late there. So Cloud Drake again, Sick Nasty thinking of stealing.
They see him though. He goes in, he actually gets the steal, but he's gonna get rooted. I think he's gonna go down, but meanwhile, over the top, Exia gets a charm down. So they will trade junglers, and J-Dog gets the steal.
Missed the kill there, but great steal. Alright, so Blitzkrieg's got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, I always talk about League of Legends being such a momentum game, particularly, you know, at a level where, you don't have things like formal coaches and sports psychologists. It's very important to just have something go your way. And Blitzkrieg, with the way game one went, and then that early play going against them in the bottom lane, feels nice, even though it's just a Cloud Drake, to get something back.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of CS as well. So getting that little thought in your head. Do a fight up in top lane here.
Two big stone guys. Looking for a play down in the bottom side river. Loki Senpai is caught out, able to get away from the bandage toss though, so should be just fine.
Here's our skinny assassin boy crew down here. I'm hoping J-Dog's going to go red form here, because any durability is good durability at this point. You don't need even more burst damage.
Yeah, I would agree with you, especially with the way this early game has gone. It's not like you're going to be able to snowball with your damage or anything like that.
A lot of pings going on toward the pit. Always nice to see what the opposing team is thinking. Or any of the teams are thinking, for that matter. Not to say opposing team, because we're not no one's side.
You're going to get us in trouble. So taking stock of things, in addition to that first blood that White Wolf got, they also, of course, got the first turret afterward, and I think that pretty much makes up most of the gold difference we're seeing here. Spicy Meme lands the bandage toss onto washed up top laner. He does have ultimate and flash to get away.
Snare does land.
Down. And washed up top laner, he's holding onto his cooldowns for way too long. Had multiple ways to get away from that situation, but was greedy with it. And they land the Call of the Forge God onto Exia. He's rooted as well. The charm comes down, and now J-Dog gets in there. Lots of damage coming out. Tentacle is gonna drop. Spicy Hot Meme is extremely low. More fighting in the bottom lane. Loki Senpai picked up Arcane Soda. We're back up to the top side river, though, and Exia gets one more. Now Amaya-chan on the run. Loki Senpai gets headbutted back, and I think that the cow is... Yeah, he should be fine. It's got to get lucky breaks off pursuit, but Blitzkrieg making plays.
I would love to see Exia rotate right this second to intercept, but does not.
Yeah, stays in the mid lane, maybe just trying to push that out. A little bit of over-aggression from White Wolf there, as they got the initial pick onto wash up top laner, but then went under the turret and paid for it with a hefty price.
I mean, realistically, like you said, they shouldn't have gotten top laner there either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could have ulted over the wall and been just fine. Or finer, I should say. Gotten a flash for his life, at least. But it's fine. It worked out very well for Blitzkrieg in the end.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg all of a sudden enjoying a slight gold lead. It's always funny to me how you think about kills and towers and things as being the primary way that gold swings in a game. But after those kills, Blitzkrieg had actually just managed to even it up. They ended up taking a slight lead because they were still out on the map picking up CS. Now, of course, they've recalled, and White Wolf have picked up CS, and we are back to dead even at 11 minutes in.
Do have a rotation here from washed up top laner that everyone sees coming.
Yep, standing on a ward. Mai-chan goes in. He's looking for Arcane Soda with that unstoppable force. Gets down onto him. Got Meme is here. And now Lopi Senpai in a lot of trouble. Actually, the bandage toss, I think it was aimed at Lopi Senpai, but ended up hitting washed up top laner. White Wolf, they fend off the play and come out better for it in terms of health bars.
Exia and Tentacle were exchanging some blows here as well. J-Dog doesn't really have the damage to deal with Baconlicious yet.
Lopi Senpai looking for another play, but once again scared off by the Alistar. And Spicy Hot Meme is here, still has Curse of the Sad Mummy available, didn't use it in that last skirmish. He's going in, he is looking for another play. Dash away from Lopi Senpai will keep him alive, but Mai-chan actually goes in under the turret. Oh. Chain of Corruption comes down. That Alistar is in a lot of trouble and just gets destroyed. Way too aggressive there from a Mai-chan.
Yeah, that Chain of Corruption, you really can, not enough can be said about it. Particularly if you have a support like Lopi Senpai is playing right now, where you do not have the CC necessarily available to protect yourself. Oh.
Exia misses a charm, but J-Dog goes in. I think they're just going to have enough damage anyways. Exia forced to get away. Oh, nice use of the stopwatch. J-Dog forced to run out from under the turret, and Tentacle survives that very smoothly. Exia, oh my goodness. I think Bacon Wishes just missed on the redirect of the Call of the Forge God. That may have just saved Exia. But now Spicy Hamim shows up with the Curse of the Sad Mummy. They get 2 kills onto J-Dog and Wolfie Senpai.
I think you're a few seconds behind me.
Oh no.
But good summary. Yeah, that looked like it was going to go one way and then just completely swung around the other way. We're going to have to see if Blitzkrieg can recover now. Tempo is swinging back toward White Wolf hard.
Yeah, Tentacle did a great job of avoiding that gank, staying alive, and turning it around eventually. Landed the charm, or excuse me, the snare. Landed the laser to get enough damage across, and then the clever use of the stopwatch.
I think Tentacle heard us talking about the snares and has now been landing a couple of really good ones. Yeah, all right. Also using the green design for Elemental Lux, which we don't really see that often. Second Dragon. Sick Nasty has gone for the tankier version of himself.
As you were hoping for. So Blitzkrieg, at least sometimes they listen to your desire for tanks. They land a root down onto washed up top laner. He's relatively tanky though. Bacon Wish is pulled in. Both of the tanks are just soaking up damage. Amaya-chan goes in with the headbutt. Looks like this Cloud Drake will be secured relatively easily by White Wolf. Now will they look to fight? Looks like they're satisfied with what they have for now.
I don't know, if I was White Wolf, I'd probably take this. Or at least I would have taken it. It's probably too late now, but we'll see.
Yeah, Curse of the Sad Mummy not yet available for Spicy Hot Meme, so maybe they're waiting for that, although J-Dog steps pretty far forward. There's a charm, it lands onto a Amaya-chan in the back. Exia, a great positioning, they assassinate Arcane Soda out of nowhere. Now Bacon Wishes is gonna drop. Blitzkrieg, they found a great fight. Can they get one more onto Tentacle? They're looking for it. Charm lands onto Spicy Amim. He actually tanked it up for his mid laner. Can they finish off the Amumu? Gets under the turret, but they can't finish him off. Sick Nasty J-Dog in the back line. Won't get anything else, but Blitzkrieg find a great fight there, and they'll find the mid lane turret as well.
And that was a 3 for nothing. Really great execution there by Blitzkrieg. Big thing that changed that whole fight there was picking off Baconlicious before the Forge Spirit came in.
And the instant assassination of Arcane Soda.
Alright, so that is definitely what Blitzkrieg needed. Unfortunately, Baron is not up for a while, but they could get Rift Heralds. Deciding to go back instead.
Yeah, it looks like they just want to reset, spend that gold.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. White Wolf has mostly respawned at this point, so you don't necessarily want to risk it after that big of a play.
Yeah, I certainly agree. 4, 0, and 3 now on Exit. We talk about this guy carrying on Assassins. He got strong in game 1, but wasn't able to get the job done on Talon. We'll see if he can do it on Ahri.
Well, Ahri is definitely one more of his more comfortable picks. But more than that, I think that if he plays a little bit more with his team as opposed to swooping in at the last minute, I think they'll do a lot better.
He had a great flank position in that last fight. Wasn't really with his team, but was close enough to still affect the fight in a very, very big way. White Wolf, they come back out, and they're the ones who pick up the Rift Herald. Now, washed up top laner might be in trouble. He gets caught by a lot of the CC. Oh, that is enormous damage from Exia, though. Tentacle taken so low, just off the Charm and the Orb, but no one was there to help washed up top laner after those cooldowns were down. A free pick for White Wolf.
That was one of the most frustrating things to basically happen to you as a player, where you get locked down by literally every single form of CC on the opposing team.
Exia gets another charm down to Amaya-chan, but it's not going to be enough to save this turret. Rift Herald summoned as well. They might get a second charge down onto this inner turret.
Sick Nasty J-Dog is so out of position right now.
Yeah, down in the bottom lane, just trying to get some sort of trade, I suppose. Teleport comes in from washed up top laner. And I'm not sure that White Wolf are really going to look for anything here. They did use a decent amount of cooldowns, including the Curse of the Sad Mummy, for that pick on top laner.
Yeah,
Looks like J-Dog might be able to trade back a turret here, so...
We'll see. It's taken him a while. Doesn't really have the damage output since he went Red Kane, let's call it.
Yeah, no one from White Wolf is...
really cares.
Responding down there, though. Yeah, I certainly think someone could have gotten there and stopped the push by now. But as it turns out, Blitzkrieg, actually, they might get 2 turrets out of this. They're getting a ton of free damage up on the top side. Exia lying in wait. A ward goes down. Charm lands onto a Maya-Chan, and they're going to get a free pick. Unstoppable is the Ahri. And that's 2 turrets down. Blitzkrieg just coming right back. And White Wolf, I think they were just sort of not really sure how they wanted to respond to that situation.
Yeah, I would have definitely described that as a team that wasn't quite sure how to go about what they were trying to do there. Not sure if they wanted to go in, not sure if they wanted to wait. They clearly were fine with Kayn being in that bot lane, giving them the opportunity to possibly win a 4v5. But then they didn't even initiate the 4v5, which they had plenty of opportunity to do.
Yeah, it seemed like there was maybe just... Yeah, they could have gone bot and stopped the push. They could have gone top and stopped the push and maybe gotten a fight. They did neither, and they lose out on quite a big chunk of gold. 3,000 is the lead now for Blitzkrieg.
Next dragon coming up will be a 3rd Cloud Drake.
Boy, we've had a lot of Cloud Drakes this series.
Feels so weird to see a Malphite with close CS to his opponent.
Yeah, both relatively low, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, 90 at 19 minutes is not really where you want to be. Both top laners have been, you know, focusing much more on team fighting and things. We saw Bacon Wishes burn that teleport early on to get down to the bottom lane. The Orange could be caught out here. Exia is rotating up as well, so even though he's pretty tanky, Exia is so fed that I don't think there's any way out.
I don't know.
Looks like Exia is actually breaking off pursuit, or maybe trying to take the long way around. Lofi Senpai can't find the hook, but now J-Dog is here as well. Call the Forge God goes out, but I'm not sure how much work it's going to be able to get done. Bacon Wishes will eventually get run down. Putting out a lot of damage, though, actually. Admirable attempt from the White Wolf Gaming top laner.
Lofi Senpai decided to burn Flash to close that out. I don't agree with that, really.
Yeah, and he bought so much time that Arcane Soda and Maya-Chan are getting free damage on the bottom lane inner turret. They take it down. So even though you're going to die, remember stuff like that. Remember just trying to waste as much time as possible.
Also, shout out to Gotta Get Lucky for Flash dodging Spicy Out Meme's attempted engage on him. It's a good play there in the mid lane. Alright, Cloud Drake is up. Lofi Senpai doing his best to clear out some stuff there, but there wasn't really anything to clear out. Ward coverage hasn't been the greatest this game. This could also be a problem. See what happens.
And Spicy Out Meme getting close, but looks like they won't try to get in there for a steal. Gotta Get Lucky secures it with an auto attack. So 2 Cloud Drakes to 1. 2,000 gold lead for the side of Blitzkrieg. White Wolf Gaming, you know, I would say that their team composition scales better into the late game. They just need to survive these next 10 minutes or so, I think.
And they need to get a kill on Exia.
Yeah, that would be huge. It's going to be a huge amount of shutdown gold if and when they get it. There's shutdown gold available on Gotta Get Lucky as well. Certainly not as much, though.
Yeah, I mean, not only the shutdown gold, but also just the fact that that's 7,000 gold just gone suddenly from
off the map.
Blitzkrieg. But how to do that? I mean, it's despite all my earlier criticisms, Blitzkrieg's been doing a very good job of protecting their back lane with just one tank. Hopefully Lofi Senpai doesn't do an unfortunate pull.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, Blitzkrieg's backline isn't really a traditional backline where they want to try to escape. Meanwhile, Arcane Soda, he's trying to escape from Exia, who is flashed over. Great trap from Arcane Soda. And Exia, I think he is going to go down. He gets the kill onto Arcane Soda. But now Tentacle is in the fight. Misses. Oh no, does land the snare onto Watch Up top laner, but goes down in a heap to the Kayn. And Blitzkrieg, once again, find a great fight.
Yeah, that laser not going off really hurt. It looks like
they did get the kill onto Exia, but that's all, and they lose 4 for it. Can Bacon Wishes disrupt this Baron attempt?
Yeah, Exia really just kind of went real deep there, and obviously it worked out for his team, if not him. Bacon Wishes
I think Arcane Soda played that pretty well to stay alive as long as he did. Watch out, top laner might go down to the Baron here. Has to flash out of it, but Blitzkrieg, they managed to stay in the pit so the Baron health does not regen, and they will still take down the Worm. And they got one more kill for their trouble as well. So Blitzkrieg, all of a sudden, in complete control of this game.
5,000 gold lead. Good effort by Baconlicious, though.
Yeah, I think he did just about all you can expect there from an Ornn with no ultimate. Not that tanky yet.
Alright, so we got 4 Baron buffs then. I don't believe Exia. Nope, Exia respawned in time. So 5 Baron buffs. They're very similar to the position that White Wolf was in last game. No hole in the base, though. So White Wolf has that going for them. But Blitzkrieg is pushing hard.
Yeah, we'll see how Blitzkrieg decides to play this because they have a number of different combinations of potential split pushers they can use. Exia can go to a side lane. Kayn can go to a side lane. Watch the top laner can go to a side lane. So we'll see how they decide to play this. If they want to group 1-4, 1-3-1.
I think the big advantage that Blitzkrieg has here is that no one from White Wolf has really pulled themselves up as a big threat. Everyone on White Wolf this game, despite what the team comp kind of looks like, ends up being a little more of a just kind of a presence, but not necessarily a big danger.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, Spicy on Meme is looking for an initiation, just dashing in. Chain of Corruption comes out, gets onto Baconlicious, but oh, big ultimate from top laner. He really wants it. Exia's in the backline. They're trying to nuke down the tanks, it looks like. Into the backline goes J-Dog. Loki Senpai is on a rampage as he takes down Spicy Hot Meme. Tentacle trying to deal with Exia. Exia gets rooted up under tower. Too aggressive from the Blitzkrieg mid laner, but now gotta get lucky. Trying to clean it all up. Amaya-chan is the last one alive. Piercing arrow doesn't land, but it's a quadra kill for Gotta Get Lucky. Outplaying these fights over and over.
Suddenly Gotta Get Lucky, 7-0. That seemed to have happened.
That was a very, very interesting fight, as it seemed like both teams were split between kill frontline, kill backline, what do we do? As it turns out, Blitzkrieg just with the gold advantage, I think. Able to seize control of that fight.
White Wolf has been having a lot of miscommunication this game. We've seen it several times, and it could be because there's so many damage threats now compared to game 1 where there weren't that many. I mean, obviously, you know, there were a couple, but there weren't, you know, there wasn't 3+.
Yeah, I mean, I think White Wolf played that fight pretty well, all things considered. They survived the Kayn, they killed Exia, but then there was just one too many damage dealers. Gotta Get Lucky, still alive. There was nothing left to finish him off.
Though, as you said, White Wolf is very good the longer this game goes. So if they could get into maybe a little bit more of a defensive posture. Next dragon up is an Infernal, which they definitely don't want Blitzkrieg to get, but they may not have a choice in the matter.
Yeah, I was surprised that White Wolf were looking for a fight as aggressively as they were there in the mid lane, as opposed to trying to maybe just stall things out, wait out the Baron buff.
And get... Yeah, the Baron buff was
really pull the trigger, but they put themselves in a position where top laner had a good ultimate to go in.
The Baron buff was the real difference maker there, I think. I imagine if you remove all the bonuses from Baron buff there, the fight goes differently.
Certainly possible, yeah.
But Baron buff is gone now. So we'll see if White Wolf can come back. They are past the 7k mark. Hey man,
yeah,
statistics.
Blitzkrieg, they get another positive fight, and they get an inhibitor. That's generally your goal on your first Baron buff of the game. So gotta be feeling good. Chain of Corruption comes out onto Amaya-chan. We'll see how much they decide to use on the outside. That's a nice pulverize and a huge Curse of the Sad Mummy, but there just isn't enough damage to finish things off. Washed up top laner, a great job getting to the backline, zoning out the damage. J-Dog is very low, but he's gonna stay alive. Gotta Get Lucky, has the Guardian Angel. He should be just fine as well. Exia's around the backside. Tentacle, he was great in game 1, but I don't think he'll be able to rescue this game 2. Exia coming around looking for one more charm. Misses it, and Arcane Soda is gonna get the kill back. Gotta Get Lucky, doesn't block it for his mid laner. Still had Guardian Angel available, but not going to take the shot for him. There are minions on the Nexus turrets, though, and it looks like White Wolf aren't aware of it.
Yeah, a lot of pings going down indicating they do know. More minions. Once again, very similar to the first game, but on the other foot.
Yeah, absolutely right. We had a very similar situation.
Both turrets may go down here. Good job by Amaya getting in there to save that last turret. Alright, Steve.
New regen.
Last turret. You can do this, Steve. For those who don't know, I call whatever last surviving Nexus turret there is Steve. It's just my thing. Had a like 90-minute game, one of my first ranked games, where we held one turret for I don't even know how long it was.
What made you think of Steve, though?
Nah, Steve's just a generic name I use for average guys just trying to make it. Here's this Nexus turret just trying to make it. Alright, about 90 seconds on the next Baron. Lofi Senpai is very effectively sweeping through here. Blitzkrieg, enjoying making me eat my words here.
If you're White Wolf, you know, at this point, I think you have to realize that you just need to scale more to win this game, because you got an unbelievable initiation out of that fight. I think it was a 3 or 4-man pulverized Curse's Dead Mummy on top of all of that, and there just wasn't enough damage to capitalize on that combo.
Yeah, the laser looked very impressive, but didn't actually hit that much.
Chain Corruption down onto Arcane Soda in so much trouble. Pops a stopwatch, or excuse me, that's Tentacle. Pops a stopwatch, but not going to be enough. J-Dog dashes back out from under the turret. That's a nice, clean pick for Blitzkrieg.
Alright. I mean, at this point, if you're Blitzkrieg, you have enough damage all over the place that you're fine blowing some ults and diving under turret and all that good stuff just to make it a 5v4. Oh, good catch.
Have to give a shout out to Gotta Get Lucky in this game. 8-0 and 8. He's farmed up pretty well.
And I think a lot of that is due to how scary all the other threats are.
Yeah, he has been left to free hit a lot in fights. We saw in that pivotal fight in the mid lane a few minutes ago, you know, Exia, J-Dog taken down, but Gotta Get Lucky was still there to finish everything off. In goes Spicy Hot Meme. He gets the bandage shots down. Oh, that is so much damage from the laser. That's the big one they've been looking for. Arcane Soda just trying to kite away from washed up top laner, who's going to get caught behind enemy lines, going to go down. And that's a quick 2 for 0. A nice defense from White Wolf.
And this is what White Wolf needs. White Wolf needs Blitzkrieg to get overconfident.
Yep, and they absolutely did so with J-Dog not really near that fight. To step that far forward with only 4 strong.
Yeah, you guys aren't that fed yet. You know, I mean, you got two carries with 8 kills, so you're in a good spot, but you're not in that good of a spot. Especially with all ults still available. Nah, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I would certainly hope that they're not. No, just gonna clear out some vision. They do pop the Shirelia's Reverie, trying to get it onto Exia, and they've got him with the bandage toss. Oh my goodness, so much damage. Tentacle is the one who gets the kill credit.
Baconlicious blue flash
fighting back.
Yeah, good catch. They gotta do that 6 more times. Which
it's funny. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it.
I was just saying, in situations like this, you might look at that and just say, oh, it's just 1 kill. They're not going to be able to get anything off of it. But what it really does for them is it buys time. Because Blitzkrieg, they can't make any aggressive moves without Exia on the map. And we're talking about White Wolf wanting to scale. Anytime you get a pick like that, that buys you another minute or 2.
Right. Of course, if they get picked here...
Yeah, could be trouble. Lopi Senpai gets in onto Arcane Soda. Amaya-chan doing a good job of holding the front line, though, in Arcane Soda. He's gotten to a strong point now where he can just survive against some of these guys, but into the back line goes washed up top laner. Arcane Soda, nice net over the wall, and a huge Curse of the Sad Mummy will keep everyone alive. Arcane Soda, can he stay alive against the Kane? No, J-Dog gets a critical kill there to keep that fight relatively even. It's a 2 for 1, but Arcane Soda being off the map is a huge deal. Can J-Dog get out, though? Amaya-chan's on the hunt.
I think that they should let it go. It's a level 17 Kane.
Yeah, he has regen back up so much already, was so low, but got a kill onto Arcane Soda. If he doesn't get that kill, White Wolf are probably threatening Baron at this point.
Right, I mean, if he doesn't get that kill, I think the whole game changes, because that would have meant that Kane would have died there as well.
Absolutely.
Really well done with the Forge Spirit, though, by Baconlicious.
And Baconlicious is here, but the rest of the team has gone back to base. Looks like Blitzkrieg, though, they realize they're seen and they're not going to commit to this.
Yeah, I don't think Blitzkrieg realizes where White Wolf is. Or was, I should say.
Exia is back alive now, so Blitzkrieg back at full strength. But White Wolf are as well, and Arcane Soda getting very strong.
Baconlicious might get caught here. He's got to be careful. Clearing out all these control wards is good, but they gotta be real careful.
Yeah, the gold lead is still 8,000, but I
Don't
mean,
go that direction, Big.
Bacon Wishes is going to get caught up a little bit. We'll see if he can survive. Pretty tanky.
Yep, does manage to. Ooh, big snipe on
Exia is going to
Exia.
take a lot of damage. Nice job by top laner to block that shot, because that would have hurt.
Did almost
Ahri a lot
no
more than it
damage
did
to
the
top
mid lane.
laner.
Yeah.
Top
But I mean, this
lane.
gold lead, it hasn't grown. It's actually shrunk a little bit, and that's not a good sign for Blitzkrieg, because I always like to think about gold leads in terms of percentage as opposed to the actual number. It's you having that much more gold relative to your opponent. And in a relative sense, the gold lead has shrunk a lot more than it has in a pure numerical sense.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn, Arcane Soda is almost full build, I think. Unless you want to be one of those people who sells your boots.
Well, he doesn't quite have his fourth item finished. He has components for his fourth item. And then he'll still have room for a fifth.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, he's getting there. They're all kind of
no,
getting
he is
there.
absolutely at that scary Caitlyn point that you don't want a Caitlyn to get to.
Put down some more traps, Arcane Soda. Like one by the Baron on the left there. It's too late.
I would like to see Arcane Soda positioning in the pit here. He's gonna get caught out by so much burst. Edge's just destroyed. Oh my goodness, Blitzkrieg, what an explosive fight. Amaya Chan's all that's left. No chance for this cow. Gonna get turned into steak. Well done, Blitzkrieg, Baron, and you have to think this will be the game.
Ouch. Yeah, that's the problem with those enclosed spaces I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea from White Wolf to make Blitzkrieg come to you, but as you said, the traps weren't set up, and Arcane Soda positioning on the outside of the pit. I think if he's in the back of the pit and maybe he can, have his team there to be meat shields, maybe that fight goes differently, but as it turns out, got caught out by everything, destroyed, nothing he could do once that first crowd control landed, and Blitzkrieg strike back to at least get a 1-1.
Yep, shout out to Blitzkrieg, doing really well with what they had. Get to check out some stats and see which DPS was better. That'll be fun. Alright, what do we got here? Oop. And oop. And oop.
Yeah, so you see Arcane Soda and Tentacle doing tons of damage in that game, but just not quite enough.
Right. Once again,
Exia.
everyone very equal. There was no one person blowing out like we see in some of those games.
Yeah, you wonder how much of it was the fact that Blitzkrieg had one more threat. You see on the graph there, J-Dog doing almost as much damage as Gotta Get Lucky, and we saw in that one huge fight in the mid lane the fact that Blitzkrieg basically just had one more damage dealer, and
Right.
they were able to clean up the fight because of that.
Yeah, that was very useful for them here. All right, let's pop over to the score screen here. All right. So we are going to set up an interview here really quick. I'm going to change the score screen to reflect Blitzkrieg's very powerful win there. Excellent. Well done. And we will see if we can get that interview set up. But yeah, I mean, there's not too much else to say really about that. I mean, I'm gonna say a lot once we get an interview going. But just in terms of the raw fact that they knew what they would need to do and executed, Blitzkrieg did, and there were just too many threats.
Yeah, I think it was very important that Blitzkrieg, we talked about them needing to be ahead. If that game is even, or even if it's only, say, a 3,000 gold lead at 30 minutes, I think that White Wolf, they choke them out with their front line. They win that game. But Blitzkrieg, they got the early advantage, and then they snowballed it just enough that they really just had to win one more fight to take the game, and they got that fight.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a very different game, which of course you can say about a lot of games, depending on who gets the tempo early. But in that particular game, Blitzkrieg just managed to get enough threats on the board that there wasn't a lot of focus. And we've said this before, White Wolf seemed to be missing focus in this second game. I don't know if it was because they had a different mid laner, if it was because there were just some conflicting thoughts about who the biggest threat was. But I think that if they had gone for what the biggest indecision point when we saw in that top lane around, I don't know, I don't remember exactly when it was, but if they had gone in and tried to protect that top lane turret, I think the game might have been different.
Yeah, that was a very huge moment where Blitzkrieg basically got their early game gold advantage from getting two turrets uncontested, basically simultaneously, which really shouldn't happen.
Hmm.
White Wolf should have been able to defend at least one of those.
Right. And as we were saying earlier, tempo.
Hmm.
And Tower Gold is the biggest tempo changer both ways because it gives gold to the entire team. It gives all the lanes better opportunity to be pushed. And that's why objectives are important to everyone. All right. I was trying to get an interview set up here with Gotta Get Lucky. Um, I don't know if I can just drag him into the interview room, kicking and screaming. Probably not. So we'll give it another minute and just talk about the next game that's coming up. We do have Gale Force and Northern Storm, the two teams. I'll pop over the standings here. Oh, there he is in the interview room, but we'll talk about the upcoming game in a second. Gotta Get Lucky. Congratulations.
Hey, nice work.
He appears to be muted. So I'll talk about the games then. Um, the upcoming game, Northern Storm, Gale Force, are both teams in last place. Hop over the standings here.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I did feel like I was dragged kicking and screaming, so I had to get the scream out while I was on mute.
Excellent. So
Didn't want to ruin your ears.
right. So first, I'll take my bow of apology here. I had no faith in you guys for game two. I thought your team was far too DPS heavy against three tanks. How'd you guys come to the decision to run that sort of team for game two?
You know what? All our playoff hopes right on that last game, we decided, if it's our last game together, we're going to have fun with our comp. And we have a lot of great assassins on our team, so we figure if we can get to their carries before they all dive on top of me, we got a chance to win.
And we saw they didn't dive on you at all. I mean, what was the final score here? It was like 8-0, 8-2, something like that.
Well, I was scared for my life, so I built a GA first thing, so...
Yeah, we definitely noticed that, and that's why we criticized you when you didn't tank that sniper shot toward the end for your buddy.
Yeah, I definitely apologize for that one.
I would imagine Exia was wondering about that as well in chat. So after that game one, we noted that you guys ran a very DPS heavy comp in game two. You ran something similar in game one with three guys on damage, with J-Dog also playing a damage Wukong there. That didn't work. So did you guys just decide to throw caution to the wind anyways and run something similar in game two, or did you talk about, hey, maybe we should change it up?
Well, I think we tried to organize comp a little too much in game one, rather than just enjoying ourselves. And Wukong, it really has to snowball hard to do well, whereas Kane has a lot more tools at his disposal. Mm-hmm. So I think that really helped us. And I mean, we also got Ari game two, which is an absolute no-no versus this assassin I know. I think his name's Exia, and he might be a god when you give him an assassin. So
yeah, the Ari was definitely a rotation point there, but Lofi Senpai and Pike did really well also.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was making me feel like a fool. Well, I just want some kills, but I'm gonna be and support this game. So
well, just in the future, remind him to stop pulling Alistars on top of you, and you guys will go places.
Yeah, I mean, keeps the Alistar busy. With Varus, you can also shred Alistar if you auto attacks on him and then pop it with an ability. So
Absolutely. All right. Well, congratulations, and good luck holding on to those playoff dreams.
Thanks. Yeah, just want to give a shout out to White Wolf on a phenomenal game and wish them the best of luck with their playoff hopes. So
awesome.
Excellent.
All right.
You have a good
Thanks,
night.
Gotta get lucky. Appreciate it.
All right. So, like I said, we got the two last place teams coming up next, Gale Force versus Northern Storm, fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. We'll see if they're able to do it as we head into set two right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.